Why don't I hear this now?
News channel after news channel after news channel. Ever wonder why they report the same news? This is Wake Up America.
Brought to you by Citizen Stringer.
The media has become absolute lunacy. What makes us different? We just tell the truth. Daily headlines, politics, social issues, focusing on headlines that the mainstream media ignores. Conservative to the core and honest, sometimes to a fault.
Never.
Unapologetically American. Welcome to Wake Up America with your host, Stephen Oatley.
And Adam Jungers, because he's here today.
What's up?
I
can see myself. Actually, I did this thing right before the show started to where I could see you. Look, I put you right here.
Oh, yeah, I see it. But nice job.
Yeah, there you go. See? I'm watching right now on citizenstringer.tv.
Oh, yeah, because we are live.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you are paying attention to the chat on citizenstringer.tv. 198 people in that chat. I think that's almost a record. That's a lot of people. That chat is going to go very fast. For anyone that doesn't know, my name is Steve. I'm the host of Wake Up America. This is Adam Jungos. He's the host of Freedom Flashpoint when he decides to do a show. I've got him pretty busy on the back end, so he hasn't been able to do anything. For anyone that doesn't know, he's the what are you? You're the technical director for Citizen Media Group, and now he's a chief marketing officer as well to make it official.
Correct.
So we got a lot of stuff going on. You're flying out tomorrow. We're not going to say all the places you're going, but you're flying out to North Carolina. I will say what we're going to have. We have an exclusive sit down with Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller's family, and we're going to be doing an exclusive interview that we're going to release on Friday on Citizen Stringer, and it will only be for members. And then on Saturday night, we'll release it on social media so you guys can watch that. And then you, Lauren, and April are all descending somewhere for a special secret thing that no one will know about for another feature that'll probably take us a week to edit, and then we'll release that again probably next Friday. on Citizen Stringer. That'll be that's going to be a crazy one because that's a couple of day trip.
God, that'll
so we
be
got
great.
a lot.
I can't wait.
A lot of stuff going on, a lot of featured, shows, and they're not going to be live because we want to keep our locations low key and do all the interviews and stuff that we have scheduled. But we've got a lot of stuff going on. We've been doing a lot today. If you didn't know, actually yesterday, but whatever, it's still the same. Yesterday was our 1 year anniversary of launching, which it used to be called PTNN.TV, and now it's CitizenStringer.tv. It's our own live streaming platform. So not only are we live streaming to all the social media channels you could ever have, we're also streaming live to where?
Right.
I got to look because I don't even know. There's so many. Apple TV, Roku, Amazon TV, Amazon Fire, Android TV, the Android app, the Apple app. We're literally live everywhere, and we have lots of viewers. Tonight
if you guys If you didn't know, you can now, if you download the new Citizen Stringer TV app on your phone,
this is amazing.
You can actually go in, and it is. You can go in and chat with everybody who's watching. If you're on an iPhone, you can chat with people that are on an Android. If you're on an Android, you can chat with people that are on the web. Everybody's chatting together. Let's see,
all
it's going to blow my ears out here with the echo. But yeah, everyone's chatting all at once right here, right now. So
look, that's us. We're live on your phone.
Yeah, we're live right now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So the chat is awesome now. I love it. I tune in all the time, and I pop in on those guys at 11 p.m.
Hold on. Watch this. Watch these fancy ass graphics we got. We're going to do that when we give a giveaway. And you know what? We're going to be doing giveaways all night long tonight for Citizen Stringers. And then about 8 o'clock, depending on how long we go tonight, probably 8 o'clock, our very last giveaway of the day is going to be a 55-inch flat screen Roku TV with a lifetime membership to Citizen Stringer. So because I just did that, let's. What should we give away first? Should we give away a coffee box? I think we should give away a coffee box.
Let's give away a coffee box.
All right.
You know what? That's what I had to do before the show. I went and made a cup of coffee in my wife's office. I walked by and I saw the Pure Truth bag sitting right there, and I just couldn't resist.
Couldn't resist, yeah. So, yeah, I've got a couple. I actually staged a couple over by my jacket, so I remember to take them home. Because why are we going to buy coffee when I own a coffee company? It doesn't make any sense. So now my wife is like, you got to bring coffee home. We have none. Anyway, so we're going to give away a coffee box. The way this is going to work is we value our members' privacy, and there's no other way for me to do it except assign them a number and then show it all, or just randomize it, and then you guys just got to trust the person that we're randomizing. Right now, we have 2,900 people that are active members right now on Citizen Stringer, and I'll keep updating this list. So if you sign up during the show on citizenstringer.tv, you'll be included in the big raffle at the end. We are going to do a couple just for our founding members. I have a separate list already with all 2,000 of them, and then we'll go from there. But let's randomize this top list, and the coffee box, G10. That's your username. G10 on Citizen Stringer. And now what I'm doing, so everyone understands, is I'm sending myself that name on Slack and just saying, you are our winner for the coffee box. I should write that so I remember. Coffee box. And then what I'll do is I'll send you an email after the show, and then you're going to have to reply with your address because we don't have all your addresses. And then, I'll send you the stuff. But we're going to give away a lot, but let's first jump into it. We're going to talk about today's Rittenhouse trial because today's alone was like the making of a really bad movie. But then it's got like the awful ending movie. that you're like, ooh, it got a little weird. I want to first say one thing. We heard testimony from 2 police officers today, and I've never really thought about not supporting police officers until the testimony from those 2 guys, because I'm like, why are they witnesses? They were not good witnesses. They were very bad in opinion. Well, one of them was opinionated. The first officer there, I don't know what he was thinking, what he was doing. And he smiled when he said, yeah, we pepper sprayed Rittenhouse when he was trying to surrender. Right. They're like, did you spray him as he with his hands up? He's like, yes. And then he smiled. And I'm like, did he just fucking smile? Like, you smiled. As the guy's trying to surrender, the whole prosecution's making the case that he fled the state. after shooting these people in cold blood. And then you have a police officer that's like, yeah, he was walking with his hands up and he got close and he wasn't listening to the commands. He did say something about shooting something, but I didn't listen. My partner had him at gunpoint and I pulled out some pepper spray and sprayed him, and then he got away from the car. And then he gave this creepy ass smile. And then and then he got nervous because he realized he smiled, so he kept doing this. For a long time.
It was like a twitch that he had. Like it was so weird, bro. I mean, those guys. Listen, I can't imagine as a police officer, you kind of always are on the side of a prosecutor, right? That's kind of like what you're trained to do. Yeah. In this instance, I can't imagine being in those guys' shoes. I think that by and large, we've seen all these witnesses come up. Dude, even the state's witnesses have been great for Kyle Rittenhouse so far. I mean, everything we've heard so far is damning in the way of self-defense. Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen one person, with the exception of what we saw today, somebody who just lied all over the stand. We saw that. I mean, there's tons and tons of lies that happened today. But with that exception, there's been no damning evidence to convict this kid. And I was just listening to Pete Santilli. If you guys don't know, we have Pete Santilli on our network. He comes on every morning at 8 a.m. and at 6 p.m. I was listening to his show prior to us starting this show, and he was talking about it, and he was playing some of the clips that we heard today. And just he is, as well convinced as I am that Kyle's going to walk from this, that there's just no possible way, if I knew nothing about this case as I'm hearing it, that I don't believe that he is, defending himself in self-defense.
I tried
just
to...
No way.
When I was listening to Gage, Gross, whatever his name is, I was trying to... Okay, so that's... What is that? Yeah, G10. Gary, you're the one who won the coffee box. Because everyone's like, that number's not real. Yeah, Gary, I won't say your last name because we value your privacy. And we have so many trolls, I'm not going to say anybody's last name on this show during this giveaway. But yes, and I have your email. And I'm just going to put that email right here, too, because it was kind of hard to find your name in here. But I tried when I was listening today. I was looking out as I was listening to the testimony of this guy, and I was watching the deer and shit in my yard and the squirrels and all this stuff. And I was like, I'm trying to pretend like I didn't know anything else. You know what I mean? Like if I was sitting on the jury and I was blind to what happened there, yes, I knew there was a riot. Yes, I knew there was a police shooting. Yes, I knew there was some shooting, but I'm not biased on. I tried to give it an honest go at trying to figure out what was being said. And I listened to him and I was watching him and he seemed incredibly insincere. Like, I don't know if you felt the same way, but he was definitely coached because he kept turning to the jury and smiling and giving his answers.
Well, he had his own attorney there.
Yeah, his attorney was sitting in the crowd too because, I mean, he's expecting a huge payday. But there was a lot that at first when I was listening to him and he's talking about being a medic and all that stuff, I was like, damn, bro, like this guy... What the fuck happened? Like, why was he there? Was he, acting in his capacity as a medic? Like, that's the impression the prosecution was trying to give. Now, the defense dropped the ball horribly. They dropped the ball because they didn't comment on the fact that he isn't a medic. And he hasn't been a medic since 2017 when he was not eligible to become relicensed or recertified by the National Registry of Emergency Medical Technicians, NREMT. Everyone could do this. You can all go to their website right now and you could type in his name and you could find out exactly his license number and when it expired. It expired in March of 2017, 3 years before the shooting took place. Now, when you look at, and the reason I knew how to look that up, and no journalist, NBC News just published an article and called him a licensed paramedic. False news. We're going to do a fact check on it, and I'm going to call out David Lee with NBC News tomorrow because you are a big fancy-ass reporter with NBC News, and you can't even do a basic license check because here's one of the qualifications in Wisconsin for you to be a licensed paramedic. You need to be nationally certified. The only national certifying body for paramedics and EMTs and emergency medical technicians and advanced EMTs is the NREMT. Guess who's not licensed as a paramedic with the NREMT? Gage Grosowitz. And because this is the only thing, he could have just not worked in the industry anymore and just not did his recertifications. But when you look into it a little bit more, There's also this little thing in which is prohibited acts. Basically, you won't be eligible for a new license. Usually misdemeanors don't bar you unless they're misdemeanor crimes. If you're convicted of a misdemeanor crime of moral turpitude, of drugs, and of possessing guns while committing other crimes, which is what he did. He was drunk in public while concealed carrying a firearm in 2016, and he pled guilty in 2016, which made him ineligible to be relicensed as a paramedic. So when he gave all his wonderful speeches, and he's a wildland EMT, which is factually incorrect because he's not a nationally certified EMT. Therefore, you can't be a wildland EMT. You can't. It's like calling yourself a firefighter if you don't have any certifications. It doesn't work. It's so
I bought
perplexing.
a fire extinguisher last week. Does that make me a firefighter?
I mean, in all reality, it's like Kyle Rittenhouse saying that he's an EMT when he's got an advanced CPR. He wasn't an EMT. And here's the thing: is I did hear him in one of the videos say he's an EMT, and I think someone else said that he said he went to a school or he was in classes. I think one of one of his buddy Dominic gave testimony that he was in classes to become an EMT. And yes, you could have some. In all reality, an EMT's scope is so minimal anyway. A first responder essentially has the same, medical scope as an EMT, but
it's just BLS. Am I right? I mean,
right.
That's just BLS.
Yeah. But here's the thing: is the prosecution kept rallying on the fact that he isn't an EMT. So the defense today missed a golden opportunity while he was on the stand to say, he's not an EMT, or he's not a paramedic. He's not a licensed paramedic right now. NBC News published an article saying he feared for his life, and they literally start off the article saying, licensed paramedic Gage Baba. He's not licensed. So you're starting off an article that's based on falsehoods anyway, with one fact that this guy isn't a medic. When you take that all into account, they gave a long testimony with him. Wouldn't you agree? It was a very long testimony.
All day.
With the prosecution. With the prosecution going into it. And then the defense got up, and I was like, everyone in the chat was like, yes! Like, we've been waiting, because you could tell the guy was bullshitting. I could tell after hearing the medic stuff, and then I did what a juror can't do, so I kind of stepped out of that imaginary juror hat, is I started Googling shit. And I knew how to check if he was licensed. That's the first thing I did. And I saw he wasn't licensed since 2017. He was lying. He lied under oath. Now, the prosecutor should have said, hey, are you a licensed paramedic? When was the last time you were a licensed paramedic? But they didn't say it. They didn't say anything.
The defense was so focused on that too, and they were so focused on discrediting him. How they missed that, it doesn't make any sense to me. That's literally what their focus was. Because remember, he asked him multiple times about the statement that he made to police and what he was writing down in that statement and those facts that he was giving to police. Like, he dropped his Glock, right? At one point, he dropped his Glock. He said that, and then he told multiple officers that. But then we find out today, through this hindsight bullshit, that he didn't do that, right? He didn't drop his Glock at all. It was in his hands, and he was chasing after Kyle Rittenhouse with a gun drawn. And we saw, well, we didn't see, but the jury saw the video where he's literally holding the gun up like this, pointed right at Kyle Rittenhouse. And then he gets shot. And you're kind of like, okay, well, I mean, play stupid games, you get stupid prize. I mean, you pointed a gun at a dude with a gun.
The whole thing, it doesn't make a lot of sense. This whole case doesn't, and then the defense gets up there and discredits a lot of stuff, but they miss, like, the thing that he spent the most time on his testimony about was the paramedic thing. That's the thing that, like, me and I'm not an attorney, but I think that if I was going to try to discredit someone, you would go for the easiest thing and something they spent a big part of time. Like, he spoke for maybe 15, 20 minutes about the training, about being an EMT, about going to school, about the clinicals, about all that. He spent a lot of time. If I was a defense, I would have walked out there and been like, because did you catch this? See, I'm jumping all over the place. Did you catch this? Right. When he walked out, they said, have you been convicted of a crime? He said, yes. They moved on. They didn't introduce that crime because he's a victim. But the way he could have walked into it and the way the defense could have opened up that door is by getting up there and saying, are you now certified as a paramedic? No. When were you certified as a paramedic? Well, it expired in 2017. Why did it expire in 2017? Because you've already given testimony that you devoted your life to helping other people. So if it expired in 2007,
tattoo about it.
Yeah.
The guy's got a tattoo. I mean, and that won some jury votes when he did that. When the jury kind of perked up when he was talking about the snake on the staff and do no harm and do no harm on his tattoo.
Right.
That was a good emotional point for the prosecution to make, highlighting that tattoo. But when the defense got up there and they said, "Are you seeking $10 million from the state right now through a lawsuit?" That lost the jury. The jury does not like that. People don't like to hear that people are out there trying to scam the city out of $10 million. They don't want to hear that at all. And so when the defense actually highlighted that, I could tell the tone of the courtroom kind of went all over the place. His answers then became very nervous after that. He was not comfortable answering any questions because then that clued into him, okay, every answer I give right now is going to be held against me in a future trial against me in going for this civil money.
Right. And that was kind of interesting too, because did you see how you got to say from a presentation stance, he looked presentable when he first approached the jury, or when he first took the witness stand and gave his testimony. He didn't get flustered as a DA because that was rehearsed. They talked about that for a while. So he knew exactly what questions they were going to ask. He knew how to answer. He kept looking at the jury the entire time. He knew exactly what he was going to say. Then the defense came up. They took the break. Remember, they took the break, and he came back looking like he just smoked meth outside underneath the, while chewing on the tailpipe of a Chevrolet. He came back, and he's all sweaty and is pale and all this shit. And I'm like, wow. And then he kept, ghost. Yeah, and then he kept giving non-answers, or just flat out lying. Like, he flat out lied.
I think his attorney told him in the hallway. I think his attorney said, "You're fucked. You're fucked." Yeah. They're drawing these answers out of you, and you're not getting a bit of that $10 million.
Yeah, his attorney was like, "I'm out, bro. Like, fuck you." Yeah, but no, the best part about it is he came back, and they're like, "So you weren't following him?" And he turns to the jury and goes, "No, I wasn't following him." When they just showed video of you following him and pursuing him. Like, you didn't point your gun at him. No, I didn't point my gun at him. When, under the prosecution, he said he pointed his gun at him because he was getting ready to make that determination. That's literally what he said, and you see it on video. But they're like, "Oh, it didn't happen?" I mean, what?
The defense was looking to impeach him. They were wanting. Remember, during before they went on that one break, we cut back to it just briefly, and we heard them talking about it. And the defense attorney was saying, if he, we're looking to impeach this witness overall. That's what he was trying to do. And he was trying to drag some answers out of him that were completely dishonest. And he was getting those. We were getting those dishonest answers the whole time. It was such a close case of perjury. I mean, this kid was teetering on the edge of lying under oath. I mean, he did lie under oath. We know that. He did, right. Teetering on the edge of straight perjuring himself, too.
But it's not even just that. It's not even just that. He admitted to committing several crimes while under oath. That's
and never got prosecuted for them.
Ever. And the defense was literally like, "Hey, you were illegally carrying a gun." He's like, "Well, I had a concealed carry permit." The fuck you did. And here's another question. No. Well, yes, technically his permit was good. See, and this freezes other questions. He had a concealed carry permit that he posted a screenshot on his Twitter page, which showed that it was issued in 2018 and it was supposed to be good until 2023. Well, then why the fuck? Because he said it expired. Bullshit. Because it's on Twitter showing it doesn't expire until 2023, which means they revoked it. And
that had to be an arrest or something.
That means then he then lied under oath about that again. Because he said it expired. It didn't expire. He knew he didn't have it because of criminal convictions. He knew he didn't have it. And that's the perplexing thing is they didn't jump on that. It's almost like the defense didn't do enough of a job. Like can't anyone pull up a record, especially a defense? They could have sent, God damn, I should have been a lawyer. If I really should have, if you think about it, because especially with me, with my EMS, firefighter background, I would have been like, "Oh, he was a medic. Let me look up his license." Well, sure, it looks like he isn't a medic because I would have jumped right on that. The first second he said, "Well, I'm a paramedic," and I would have been like, "The fuck you are! Objection! He's lying, Your Honor!" That's what I would have done. Hey, You want to give some shit away?
I think the defense has something bigger planned for us this week.
You didn't hear
I think that we're yeah, I did. We're gonna give something away. I think the defense has something way bigger planned this week. I think that they saw this kid. They knew he was a train wreck. They knew that a way that they could get the jury to see him as a train wreck. I think they were successful in that. I think the jury went home today and said, "Oh, what the fuck just happened with that dude?" You know?
I don't know. Hopefully, the jurors stay off Twitter because there's all. We even wrote an article about it, about the what is Cortez Rice, and we'll talk about this in a second. Cortez Rice. Saying that they have people in the courtroom that are taking pictures to dox the jurors. We'll talk about that in just a second. But
yeah, let's
he's
give away.
Cousin to George Floyd. I'm going to give away. I'm going fucking big right now. December.
What are you doing?
Patriot box. December Patriot box. Now, this one's only going to be for founding members. And the way this one's going to work, if you are a founding member on Citizen Stringer, which means you were one of the first 2,000 or so that signed up, if you already ordered a December Patriot box, when I email you tomorrow and say, hey, you want a December Patriot box, let me know and you'll just get a January one instead. Or you can have a second December Patriot box. But let's randomize this right now. And Jean, founding member Jean. Jean?
Woo, Jean.
Jean. You are a
Jean.
Jeans. I'm going to call you Jeans for now.
In French. French for Jean. Jean-Claude.
December Patriot box. All right. So
Anthony said, that's me. No, Anthony Jean, not Anthony.
Yeah, two different things. You know what? Let's do another one. Right now, I'm going to give away a lifetime subscription to Citizen Stringer to a founding member. Right now. Ready? Lifetime subscription.
Boom.
Stacy B. Stacy B.
Stacy B.
Stacy. I'm going to write the whole name so I remember. Because this I could just do myself.
I'm watching this chat right now. It's going so fast. I can't even see it.
If you haven't signed up to become a member on Citizen Stringer, now here's the benefit. Let me explain what Citizen Stringer is for anyone that doesn't understand. We have an OTT platform. We broadcast all of our live shows there as well. Now, we broadcast to social media and all that. We are now starting this week and have some exclusive stuff, but we run 24/7 live feeds there. So we've been covering the Rittenhouse trial, like after this show, as long as Adam did his job. After this show, we're going to replay today's entire trial. We'll replay today's entire trial coverage starting immediately after this show tonight. But normally we just have our shows. We've got Pizza and Tilly, who comes on from 8 to 10 in the morning, and then he has a show from 6 to 9. I usually interrupt the last hour of his show, do my show, Wake Up America, from 8 to 9, and then when Adam is available, not busy, dealing with his kid or the massive amount of work that I assign him every day, he tries to get on and do a show, but
we're working on it.
We're trying to figure it out.
It's been rough.
I think we got it figured out now with the trial. So now that the trial is taking this up, when the trial's done, we're gonna have a little bit more time, a little bit more structure, so it should be good. But yeah, so we have Gene and G10 and Stacy. You guys all won so far. And then, and here's the thing. All of our videos are free. Okay, so even if you want to go to Citizen Stringer TV and you sign up, but you don't want to pay for a membership, that's fine. The only thing a membership does is it gets you into our live feeds so you could chat along with us live when we're doing our show. It's an unmoderated chat. So you know how on Facebook when you like to be like, this asshole is a real scumbag, and then you get kicked off for 30 days because you said scumbag and some woke leftard thinks that that's not acceptable? Guess what? We don't do that. We just don't allow hate speech. You can't, say anything stupid, but pretty much everything else, you're good to go in our chats that we have. Plus, we're going to start doing exclusive features, and we run a 24/7 live feed. We play movies on the weekends. What did we play this weekend? One-Eyed Jack,
Marlon
I think.
Brando's One-Eyed Jack.
Man, good movie. Good movie.
Great movie. Yeah.
All right. So what the hell else is going on? There's been a lot.
So we were talking about Cortez Rice, though. We were talking about Cortez Rice because he came out, and this was like a sensation over the weekend on Twitter. Which, by the way, let me just take a quick second. Spartan Armor Systems, if you guys haven't checked them out, they're super awesome. Really great people make incredible armor right here in Tucson, Arizona. Go check them out, SpartanArmorSystems.com. Wanted to give them a shout out before we talk about this. But Cortez Rice tweeted out on Friday, I believe, that there was jurors, there were media in the courtroom and spectators in the courtroom taking photos of jurors. Now, he hasn't specified who it was that took these photos, but he
did actually. He did.
Oh, he did. He did.
Yeah. He posted it after quickly deleting.
Video.
Right. Yeah, he made a video talking about how they had people inside that were taking pictures. They know who the jurors are, all this stuff. And then that he deleted that video once he realized he's an idiot. And then the video went viral because everybody screen grabs the idiot's videos. And then he made another video, which he said that he saw photos of the jurors on TikTok. And he doesn't have anybody inside because he's covering his ass because he knows not only was he protesting outside a potential juror in the Devontae trial, or the judge's house, Devontae Wright, right? Is that what it is? In that trial.
It's not Devontae, but it's something like Dante Wright.
So they were protesting outside because a judge, I believe her name was Chu or something, she has banned cameras from the courtroom. And so they staged a protest at that judge's personal home yesterday, except or this weekend, but I think they went to the wrong address first, but then they found the right one. They actually went into the house and started banging on the judge's door, thinking that would be a great idea, right? Now, the craziest, I don't know if you knew that. We wrote an article on it.
God, no, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
But here's the craziest part, because when you look up who the judge was and you look up Cortez Wright's extensive criminal record, just a few months ago, he was given a extremely lenient sentence by the very same judge. You can't imagine how stupid these people are. They really are. And when I say these people, I mean idiots. You know, I'm generalizing idiots as one big. I'm not saying because he's black or BLM. Nope, saying just idiots. No. I lump all idiots as these people because when I'm talking about them, because they're all dumb. You know, but yeah, these people are dumb. That's all I could say.
They're dumb.
They're dumb.
They're really dumb.
And typically they get shot when they go to BLM protests. Sorry, that was a little much.
Going on for quite a while. Listen, I was upset about the Dante Wright, no cameras in the courtroom thing, obviously being press. You know, we want to see what's going on, but it's not unprecedented. There's been several trials for people, especially police officers, that are held with no cameras in courts all around the country. So this isn't like anything new. I mean, it's not, and I don't really think it's that big of a deal. To be honest with you, Dante Wright was a complete accident. I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. I don't know what's going to happen in that trial. We'll have to see.
But do you think she should be charged? I don't think she should be charged with murder, but
involuntary manslaughter for 5. Okay, I think a 5-year sentence is the statute sentence there in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but I just want to make it clear. I mean, she was a 22-year police officer, and she was a taser instructor and head of her union. Like, if you're a taser instructor, you damn well better make sure that you're pulling a taser instead of a gun, which she did, and she fired, and she immediately knew she fucked up. But if I was going down the street and I ran over someone thinking that I was pressing on the brakes, but I stepped on the gas instead, guess what's going to happen to me? I'm going to be charged. It's going to happen. Yeah. They're going to be like, you were stupid, or if I back into a window when I think I think I have it in drive, but I'm actually in reverse, I'm going to have to pay for that window. You have to pay for your crimes. But the way they're all protesting, the way they're going after it, simple solution. If the kid never ran, it would never have happened in the first place. You know what I mean? He had a history of running.
Stories.
Yeah, I mean, in all reality, it really is. People aren't going out and protesting for the truly innocent people that are being killed by police officers, because that does happen. Let's not minimize the fact it does. It just doesn't happen often. It happens once every couple of years. And I'll even say, like, when the kid was shot, when he had a BB gun and the cop opened the door and shot him real quick, or when the cop shot the guy in the back while he was running away and it was captured by some guy with a cell phone hiding behind a bush. Those are bad cops. They have no business being on there, and they should be charged with murder. You know what I mean? Right. That's my opinion, but There's just, but charging people with capital murder when they're, what that happened in your neck of the woods. I don't even know what happened with those two officers down there in Atlanta. Are they still facing charges? Rashad Brooks ones.
The Rashard Brooks. God, I can't think of their two names right off the top of my head. I mean, as far as I know, they're still facing charges right now. But there's been no speak of when that trial is actually going to go down. So we'll see. Yeah, I think they're starting to work it out. I mean, Fulton County is super, super corrupt. Period. They just got a new DA there, Fannie Willis, about 6 months ago. Remember, she was the one who said, I don't want to have to argue this case. Right. So they moved the case out of Fulton County. And since then, I don't really know what the status is. But
for anyone that doesn't,
those cases are going to be backed up.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't understand or doesn't know that case, that's the case in Atlanta, Georgia last year where a guy fell asleep in a drive-through of a parking lot. The police interviewed him for about 20 minutes, figured out that 30-minute Wendy's, figured out that he was drunk, went to place him under arrest. He beat the shit out of the two cops, giving one a concussion and tasing another one. And then he attempted, as he was fleeing, to turn around and fire a taser at another officer who fired and killed him. Now, they charge both of those officers with capital murder because what you're supposed to do in that scenario is let someone who's committing a violent crime in front of you leave. That's what you're supposed to do.
Or let them shoot you and you possibly die.
Yeah.
They think that police officers should be. They think police officers should be sacrificing their lives. That's their logic. They're here to protect and serve, so they should be serving me by jumping in front of a bullet and taking the bullet that I want to shoot at them. That's the left's idea of servitude from police.
Yep, and then in the preceding days, I think 3 people were killed in the ensuing riots in Atlanta, including 8-year-old Sequoia Turner, who they've now charged. Right. I think a month ago or two, they charged a second person for opening fire on that car.
Person that was involved.
Yeah, they did. Except there were 10 people that opened fire, apparently, according to eyewitness accounts. There was a lot of people. And they were all gang members, which is kind of weird because apparently this guy was a gang. The major news outlet there is AJC, right? And they don't report anything honestly anyway. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever actually find out what happens.
Listen, I got a good friend of mine, Greg Bluestein. He's a good friend of mine. He's a Democrat writer for, a very liberal writer for the AJC. And I don't agree with 99% of anything that he writes, but he's a good guy. He's a decent human being. He tries to put some fact in with all the fiction, but it's the AJC. What can you do? It's like the CNN of written paper.
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, the way it's almost like this is expected to happen, though. Like everything that's going on right now in terms of this trial and everything else, and the fact that this case should mean everything to anyone that values the Second Amendment or just the right to defend yourself and your neighbor, which is your constitutional right. And it's not even your constitutional right. And if you ask me, it's your constitutional responsibility as an American to defend your neighbor, to defend your town. Not a single one of these people that got up there and that gave testimony thus far, when they were asked, why did you come down? Well, it seemed like they burned down the community the day before, and the rest of the community that was there needed some reassurances that people were going to actually stop it because the police couldn't do it. You know what the police did in Kenosha? They tased people, they pepper sprayed them as they tried to turn themselves in after shooting 3 people in self-defense. That's what the police officers
they were
in Kenosha
thanking them
did.
for being there.
Yeah.
Before that, they were thanking them for being there. Remember? We saw that. Do you remember actually watching what happened that night? Yes.
Yeah.
I do too.
Live.
I remember it clear as day. You know what's really interesting is we brought up the Dante Wright killing. We're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse right now. You know what's super interesting about all of these is that they all have something in, something similar between all of them, is the fact that they were all overcharged by the DA due to political pressure from social justice warriors. That's what it was. None of these people were correctly charged. Kyle Rittenhouse should have never been charged with murder. He should have been really never been charged, period. Maybe involuntary manslaughter. Same thing with Kim, what's her name, the officer, and Dante Wright's killing. You could even say the same thing in the George Floyd case, all of which the charges were brought against them
political.
were as a result of people. Yeah, they were political. People protesting outside of a DA's office. These are the same people, though, that protest outside the DA's office and light it on fire because they don't believe in justice, period.
Right.
So it's kind of like, hey, give me justice, or I'm going to give you the justice I think that you should have, right?
Right. Well, they don't believe in justice. They believe in I mean, they call it justice, and no justice, no peace, but yet they do it while assaulting people or allowing, 5'3" white dudes, running around dropping the N-bomb at a BLM protest. Does anyone not find, and the defense keeps trying to say it, like, this guy is in a BLM protest. He's walking around telling people to shoot him, bleeper, shoot him, bleeper. Like, did that not seem weird to anyone? Like, I'm very, very happy that they played that video at the end of the trial today, because the defense introduced that video and where because what was it? The prosecutor turned to the detective that was up there and said, have you heard? They mentioned he kept saying, shoot me, N-word, shoot me, N-word. Did you ever see any video? And he's like, I don't know if I've ever seen that video. And the defense is like, hold my beer, dude. The defense is like, oh, we saw that video live. We saw that video live. Because I've always, in all these protests that we've watched, I've always been like, what the hell? Because we had so many live streams going that night. We covered that event completely live.
I think there was
all night
5
long.
to 7.
Yeah. Every single person. The rundown, we had him when he went live, because I believe I started covering it while they were protesting in Kenosha in front of the courthouse before. So this is the night after. Remember, because they had burned down all the stuff. Yeah, we were there. We covered the entire thing, and
we had CJ's feed. CJ was there too.
It's very perplexing, but they played that video for the detective, and then the prosecutor, in his almighty wisdom, he came out and was like, let's play the whole video for context. The whole video literally shows dozens of people trying to restrain this little man who is telling people. At one point he says, I will body you, to somebody else. Like the defense, I would have been like, excuse me, what did he say there? Oh, was he making another death threat? Because we already heard him do that already. Yeah. I mean, it's just,
what is that word? What does body mean?
Yeah. It's like, what does cranium that guy mean? It means,
and they did ask the cops
in their
that.
skull. Yeah. And the cops like, I believe it means to hit him in the head. And then the whole skateboard thing, the one prosecutor shows that he's never skateboarded either. He's like, all skateboards are the same.
You've seen one.
Yeah. No, they're
you've
not.
seen one. You've seen them all.
Yeah. Ask who was the other guy, Corey Elijah. Ask him if all skateboards are the same. He rides a skateboard that's like this big. He rides one of those mini skateboard things.
The wheelie things, yeah.
It's crazy. Let's give away a Let's Go Brandon sweatshirt right now. I'm going to do this for all of the members. Hold on. I just got to update this list to all of our new members and randomize Ricky Rude 209. Ricky Rude 209. Let's put your name there, and you won what am I wearing? I had to look, you see that? Just to see what I was wearing, because I knew it was going to be a sweatshirt, not this, but I'm like, what am I wearing right there? Let's go Brandon sweatshirt. Should we give away a Trump, I almost said Trumpachino, but that's not it. A Trumpkin spice blend?
Yeah, let's give away a Trumpkin.
Yeah. What time is it? 7:44. All right, next one, Kathleen P.W. I can't say your last name on the air because we value your, whatever you call it, confidentiality.
Kathleen P.W.
You won a Trumpkin blend coffee. Trumpkin blend coffee.
I'm just trying to read the chat on Citizen Stringer right now.
I haven't even looked at it in the app.
And
there's 281 people.
You should see it. Oh yeah, it's just flying right now. This is so
I don't know. I don't think we've ever had that many people in the chat, but that's cool.
No.
281. So this was one of the shirts that I made, and I made it actually to send out to somebody else here, but luckily for me, I fucked up on this, and it was off center. It was back a little bit, and it just happened to be a 3X, and I'm like, yeah. So now all I have to do, because like when it's worn the right way, as you can't really see because my biceps are what they are, huge. but it's not centered where it's supposed to be more this way. So I missed it by like see, because you could see it's to the back and not.
It's creeping.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what else about this trial? There's been a lot of weird stuff, and I don't know how many more defense witnesses. Oh, how about Phyllis from Family Guy, the gun expert? Fucking A, bro, that voice, and I don't usually pick on people's voices, but I can't even mimic that. Her voice was I literally wanted to mute it, but I couldn't because I just had to watch.
You called me immediately and you're like, hey, is that the mom from Family Guy on the stand right there? And I'm like, I think so. I think it is.
I couldn't. I mean, it was annoying. And she was going over basic stuff. If you've ever seen an episode of CSI, there's not a single thing that she told you that you didn't already know. So we take the spent cartridge and we fire a couple of rounds and we compare them. And if they line up, they're a match. Okay. The testimony's over. That's why the defense was like, the judge is like, defense for cross, and they're like, yeah, we're good. We don't want to hear her talking about either.
It was just like the state's witness, the other expert, the woman who testified on day 2, I believe, of the trial, the blonde woman who came up and basically said, yeah, I tested everything. They're like, okay, cool.
For the DNA.
Great job. Thanks for testing the DNA. We happen to know he was there. Kyle Rittenhouse was there. Thank you for wasting an hour of our time.
What I would have asked is, were any other case, gun shells? Because we watched that night. There was gunfire before the shooting, and there was a tremendous amount of gunfire after. So, were any other casings found? That whole time, were any other casings found anywhere in that massive crime scene? And if so, were those tested? And I don't think
they asked the detective on day 3. The detective who the main detective who testified on day 3. They did ask him if they had ever found any of the shell casings that were fired before the shooting. Remember I think it was 3 or 4 handgun shots that you heard, right?
Yeah.
They sounded like a pistol. They did not find any of the shell case. I believe he said they didn't find any shell casings in that area. I could be wrong.
Even for the guy that shot up in the air, they didn't find his shell casings either?
Now I'm trying to remember if they did or not. Maybe somebody in the chat let us know, because you guys have been watching pretty hard. Now I'm confused. See, now you've asked me, and I'm a little confused.
Yeah, because they know he fired in the air. And did he have a concealed carry permit? That guy for firing in the air hasn't been charged with firing in the air. Everyone else
so somebody said they found 9mm 1 block over. Wendy Todd said that. Thank you, Wendy.
Oh, okay. I was just going to look up something too, and I don't. Oh, you know what? I was going to see how many people we had on Rumble watching, because we've been crushing it with Rumble on our 20. So for anyone that doesn't know, we not only do we run a 24/7 feed to so we have 81 during our trial. We have today. I think we had 550, 580 at most. But we're doing that in an effort to not live stream to YouTube as much. We live stream everything to YouTube, but the way we've been covering the Kyle Rittenhouse trial is we're blurring all the videos because, it's social media and they suck. So Rumble has a direct feed, that runs off our playlist. It's playing 24/7. It'll play after this show and just keep on playing. And there's always people in it. And then Citizen Stringer TV has live feeds. Rumble has the live chat too. I don't know. People don't really know how to use it. I don't know how to use it that much. But I'll be honest, we're going to kind of fade away from YouTube. YouTube is not going to be our primary because we're so shadow banned. In terms of revenue, Facebook is doing much better than YouTube now. And if YouTube wants to shadow ban us and censor conservative speech, then guess what? Facebook apparently wants that business. So they'll get it, And we'll use Facebook.
It sucks for us to give money to YouTube. Like when people do the super chats through YouTube, we love them, but we're giving money to YouTube. When you sign up for a membership,
what is it? 30 or 40% that we're giving away?
35% or 40% roughly. Well, and then you take out taxes on top of that, we get about 38%, roughly.
Yeah, and that's why I prefer that you just get a membership to citizenstringer.tv, or 2, go to Pure Truth Clothing, buy a bag of coffee, buy a t-shirt, buy a sweatshirt, buy a December Patriot box, and then you're going to get all
patches, right?
We have patches. Nobody bought a fucking patch. I bought all these cool patches, Let's Go branded patches. They're sick. They're not even cool. They're sick.
You got to get me some. I want a Let's Go Brandon patch. I'll put it right on the front of my body armor that I got from Spartan. Freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I can't get it.
I'll put a big Let's Go Brandon right on the front of it.
I should get you that. But everyone that orders a December mystery box, you're probably going to get some patches. You're going to get a custom Christmas ornament, and then we'll do a special prize for the best Christmas tree display of said ornament. We're going to have Let's Go Brandon magnets. I got one on my fridge already. Let's Go Brandon stickers, Awake Not Woke patches, and those patches are in our store right now. You know, we have the Awake Not Woke, which has got like this orange background, and it says citizenstringer.TV. It's fucking, they're dope. They're cool, you know, and
which,
that's the best way to support us.
I'm drinking the Awake Not Woke right now. Incredible. It's nice. It's a good medium coffee. I usually drink it in the mornings. Right now I'm drinking it at night because I have to pack for a bunch of stuff for tomorrow. But dude, it's incredible.
And for anyone that doesn't, for anyone that doesn't know, the question everything that's in the store, that is Awake.woke. Remember, I put the question mark because I didn't know what to fucking call it. Now I figured out it's called Awake Not Woke, and it's cool. It's got a cool label, except the packages that they sent me for when I package up all the coffee. It's kind of like pinkish on the label. I don't like that, but the patches are dope, and you can get your patches. You know, all right. To wrap this up, we're not wrapping up yet, okay? Because we still got to give away a TV, but we're not doing that yet. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give away another lifetime membership to Citizen Stringer, and I'm going to randomize this one, and this one is going to be for Don A.
Don, yay!
Don A.
Or Don A. Oh, I thought you said Don Ye.
No, it's Don and then his last name, but that begins with an A. Lifetime. And then, you know what? I'm going to give one of our founding members, because there's so many of, and these guys have been with us for a year. Like, that's freaking insane. I know a lot of you guys have been watching every day, but these people they signed up when we first launched, just to show you just how many people. When we first launched this thing, we had 538 people sign up the first day, 600 people sign up the second day, and like 700 and change sign up the third day. It was huge. It was huge. So I really appreciate it. And all those people are renewing now and not canceling their memberships, which is awesome. Because it's been a struggle, but we're building something here, and we have a lot more in the future. But the next lifetime membership that we are giving away right now is to Cheryl. It's Cheryl S. That is your username.
Ooh, Cheryl.
I think you're a regular.
Congratulations to Cheryl.
I think you're a regular. So all these lifetimes, I'm just going to go in. You're never even going to know it. It's just going to never charge you again. I'm not even going to send you an email. But whoever I just said right now, I'm just going to go in and do it. All right. So what else do we have about this Rittenhouse trial before we go big or go home and give away a 55-inch flat screen and a lifetime membership to Citizen Stringer?
Well, let me ask you a quick question. Have you, I said this in the beginning of the show, I haven't seen anything yet that's damning against Kyle Rittenhouse. Out of all the tests, that's what we know out of videos. You and I, and we watch this all go down. But out of the testimony of what people have said there, like what you heard today out of freaking Gross, right? Gross, dude. He
Gross.
Has anybody
Is that what we're just calling him here? Gross, dude.
That's just what I'm calling him now. Yeah, Gross, dude. Has anybody given you any reason to believe anything else happened? Even an inkling, like if you're just trying to be as objective as you can. Has anybody given you anything that like maybe made you feel a little bit like soft?
Like he was
being, you're like, oh,
like he was being malicious. Is that what you mean?
Right. Yeah. But anything there where you're kind of like, man, maybe Rittenhouse shouldn't have done that.
No, the only thing today was what the detective said right at the end of the hearing today that the defense didn't object to, which he said he zoomed in on his police department issued iPhone onto a video that was released on Friday. Okay. And then he saw
they'd never seen before.
Yep. And that he saw something that nobody has seen in all the other videos, including eyewitness statements, that Rittenhouse ducked down behind a ProMaster truck, set down the fire extinguisher before aiming his gun and shooting him. Which factually is fucking impossible if you watch the videos where he said,
There's
he
not
stopped.
that much time.
He's throwing shit at him and saying, I'm gonna fucking kill you as he's chasing after him. You think he's like, Rittenhouse is like, excuse me, sir, I have to set down this fire extinguisher, then I have to aim my gun. Yeah, like it's so stupid. In the defense, again, they didn't like jump on it and be like, well, they did say, well, you can't see that in this video. And he's like, well, I zoomed in on my phone and then he went like this. With his, and I'm like, bullshit you did.
I can pinch
yeah,
the zoom.
Yeah, you guys can't pinch.
But even if you can, that's not admissible. That's not admissible in evidence. And why the defense didn't completely object right away to that statement, which they did, but they didn't completely throw it out. I mean, that's bullshit.
No, they should. They should have had it struck. That's what I would have done.
Right.
I would have had it struck,
which they did do a couple times. They had the jury tonight, ignore some of the statements from the detective. Please disregard that answer. I can't remember what they had asked him a couple times. So
yeah,
he had said, answered a question, and then the judge said, "Well, disregard that." Which I dislike that. I hate that when they're trying, when you're trying to tell a jury to
disregard something. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you've already heard
when the
it.
defense was trying to get that in the beginning of the trial, they were trying to get the judge to let somebody testify. I can't even remember what it was. And he was like, he was trying to get him to let him play the video with the commentary in it.
Yeah.
Remember? And he was like, well, just have the jury ignore it. And the judge is like, I haven't had a jury do that in 35 years. Why would I have them do it now?
There's a lot of stuff that's weird. The fact that Rosenbaum was in a mental hospital on a 5150 psych hold for attempting to kill himself the day that he died.
He just got released.
That day that he went and his girlfriend testified that he was bipolar and on all these drugs, but they weren't allowed to mention the fact that he had a restraining order for beating the shit out of her. They weren't allowed to mention like crucial things now. And that's why today, again, there's no impression, even if you look at this like being like, oh my God, I hate guns and everyone who uses them. You still, if you're watching as a neutral participant in this jury, if you're watching right now, there is no doubt in your mind that Rosenbaum was batshit effing crazy and wanted to harm someone. And I guarantee if he got Kyle's gun, he would have killed 50 people. The guy was a fucking nutbag. Bipolar, we already know that.
Suicide by cop. He was gonna use that night. If he didn't get the altercation and the rise that he was getting out of Rittenhouse, he was going to get it anywhere else. And we saw that. Rittenhouse wasn't his only target that night. He was antagonizing anybody he could. And just like I said, if it wasn't Rittenhouse, it may have been a police officer. He may have died by cop, and we would be looking at a police officer on trial rather than Kyle Rittenhouse, right?
Yeah.
And I just think that's a full possibility that you could have seen that night. That dude was looking for altercation. He was looking for it.
Yeah.
And Kyle Rittenhouse was not.
No, I mean, he ran away from him. I mean, and the crazy thing, and people are trying to say, because here's the thing that's weird too, with the Gage Grosswit testimony today, he said he re-racked. Remember? That he re-racked.
What does that mean? What does re-racking mean exactly?
I think they're saying, but they were acting like his gun jammed. I don't think his gun jammed, and I didn't see him re-rack in the video at all myself. Maybe he re-got his composure after getting beamed in the head with the...
So are you telling me that he dropped his mag, cleared his chamber, popped his mag back in, and re-racked the gun?
That's what they're saying.
Because that didn't.
Well, no, he didn't drop the mag. Can't you clear an AR-15?
Yeah, you can. But either way, I mean, I didn't see.
He only fired 8 shots. You know what I mean? And a lot of people on social media are being like, wait, how come they're not focusing on that? Because that's like impossible. Right. When you pay attention to what he did, the fact that the gun's new, the fact that I mean, we watched the video. I didn't see him sitting there fumbling with a gun. And you're telling me that, okay, he shot 2 people, and then within 2 seconds, as you get ready, you have your gun, you go from this to this. You can't stop someone who has to take their hand off of the trigger, re-rack the gun, put their hand back on the trigger, turn the gun to you, and then fire. You're saying that what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And
that's a lot really quick.
Yeah, but you got to figure too, Gage at that point, when he said all that shit happened, he was a foot away. He had the gun here. What do you think's quicker? Re-racking a gun or going, bam, Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't understand why the defense didn't like pop on those things a bit harder. I think the idea was to discredit Gage, and I think they did okay. They missed a huge opportunity on his licensing because he would have had to get in his criminal convictions. You can't not say, okay, well, why aren't you still a paramedic? Well, I couldn't get relicensed. Why? Because of a criminal conviction. Oh, really? Well, I thought it was a misdemeanor conviction because what kind of misdemeanor? It would, and then they don't bring up the backgrounds on any victims in trials, apparently in Wisconsin, or I don't know if they do it anywhere.
It was very admissible, I think, in this. They had talked about that before this trial, and the judge, I think, had made it. I don't know what kind of thing they had ruled out, but they said they couldn't admit anything from the background of them, which I thought was weird too. Usually that would be pertinent information to demonstrate their regular behavior as a citizen, right? I thought that was strange. But, the one thing, though, that I thought the defense did that was well is they kept hammering into Gage. Did you chase him? Did you chase him? Did you chase him? He avoided that question and answering that question by no over and over and over again. And at one point towards the end, the defense finally did say, he said, listen, I'm going to use the word chasing. You were running after him. You were running towards him, whatever. You were chasing him. Would you say that's true? And Gage goes, yes, that's correct. Yeah. And I was finally like, boom, that's it. The jury has to be smarter than this. They've got to be smart enough to realize that half these people are up there lying. They're telling all different stories. I mean, we're smart guys. I'll give us that. And we did watch this happen, so we have a little bit of an upper edge on what happened that night. But the jury's not that dumb, dude. You know what I mean? They just
here's one real question, and before we give away the TV and all that, here's one real question I have. What do you think? Figure out the two outcomes of this jury. He's facing 7 charges. I think he's got one that's gun crossing interstate lines, which they're making an argument against. Even if they find him guilty on that, it's not going to be. And he didn't cross. They're trying to say because he brought the gun from Wisconsin to Illinois, that was him crossing state lines with the gun. They're not saying the fact that he had the gun illegally. That's why they're charging his buddy Dominic with that. They're not charging him with that. The only thing they're charging him with is leaving the state with a gun, which you can make the argument at that point. Like, the guy just killed 3 people. Shot 3 people. He tried to turn himself into police who maced him and pointed guns at him. And he's been chased by a mob who tried to kill him. Like, I went home and then immediately turned myself into the police department. Yeah, like, what do you expect him to do at that point?
Well, and what is he going to if he ditched the murder, if he ditched the weapon that he used to defend himself, if he ditched that, then that would be, he would definitely have a murder charge, right?
Right.
Then he would definitely look like he was guilty of something. That would be a complete obstruction of justice. It would be tampering with evidence. There would be a whole slew of extra charges had he gotten rid of that gun and not crossed state lines with it, right? So that's just ignorant statement overall. But this is what they're relying on is the general public on this.
Right. So this is my question. So he has these charges, okay? I think he's facing 7 charges. That's one of them. This is a long question, the way I'm going to word it, because I saw Sarah say, what's the question, Steve? Well, I'm doing that. I have to get through everything first before I get to the damn question. Another charge is for Richie McGinnis. He's being charged for shooting because Richie McGinnis was behind Rosenbaum, and they're trying to charge him with that. But that's going to be thrown out anyway. There were some pretrial motions on that, which make it extremely unclear. And then I think he's charged for discharging next to the man and woman couple. I'm not quite sure about that. And then he's got the 2 murder charges and then an attempted murder, whatever, discharging, blah, 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 with the Gage charge. Based on what we saw, if I was a juror, I just, in all confidence, I couldn't vote that he's guilty of any of those offenses because of what we've already witnessed. I would be like, well, he could have made some other choices. But at the same time, I mean, you can't find him guilty of murder when someone's literally saying, I'm going to kill you. The person said that earlier in the day. If I catch you alone, I'm going to kill you. Like, and then guess what? He attempted to kill him. I mean, it's simple as that. What do you think is going to happen? If the jury finds him not guilty, what do you think's going to happen? If the jury finds him guilty, what do you think's going to happen? Because I can tell you, we're going to have unrest either way. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
There's going to be
Agreed.
bad shit. No matter which way. If Kyle walks, bad shit's going to happen. If Kyle's found guilty, bad shit's going to happen. I fucking guarantee
it's gonna
it.
be two different groups. It's like two different groups of bikers here. Like, ever watch Sons of Anarchy, right? Like, you've got two different, clubs here that are gonna show up depending on the outcome of this trial. I think that if he walks, the destruction will be unreal. The destruction would be unreal. If he is locked up, there'll be. Let me put this as nice as I can. There'll be a bunch of peaceful protests, really actual peaceful, that probably don't accomplish anything outside of the courthouse.
No, if he's,
to be honest, I don't know.
It'd be amazing, and oh God, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. It'd be amazing is that when the jury goes to deliberations, because make no mistake, this is not going to be a quick deliberation. When the jury goes to deliberations, if fucking good old boys show up in Kenosha and been like, all right, let's go, Kyle, like, and start cheering on out there.
Just start.
Steven Crowder said that if Kyle is found guilty, that Steven Crowder he's saying enough is enough. He's going to organize protests in Kenosha himself. And you damn well know fuck yeah, we'll go as a company. Are you kidding? Yeah. And not even because I want to live stream or anything. We're going to go because this is a human right to protect yourself. It's a human right to protect your neighbor. It's a human right to protect businesses and people that we saw the night before. Old men get their orbital bones broken as people looted. We saw people lose their livelihoods as people burned shit down and viciously assaulted people. Everyone's pretending that shit didn't happen and that the only crime here that's been committed is Kyle Rittenhouse defending himself against violent people that were trying to kill him.
I have one question for you.
What?
If let's say he gets convicted, does the future President Donald Trump in 2024 pardon him?
No, because I firmly don't believe he'll get convicted. But that would be, because in all reality, if that dude's locked up for that, he's not going to last a fucking day. You know what I mean? If he's found guilty of that, right. I don't think he'll last in jail either.
Oh, he won't be.
He's a fucking kid, dude. He's a little kid.
A little kid. Right.
Yeah, he's a little kid. I firmly believe that we will either have a hung jury because people will be afraid to acquit him because of what we all think is going to happen if he walks, that there's going to be unrest. I don't think it's going to be as severe as it was previously. You know why? People are awake. People are awake. You have a lot of people. Think about how many people we had that watched the Derek Chauvin trial. We didn't have the numbers we have now. I texted you today and I'm like, bro, we have 3,000 people watching this now. It's almost like a riot night when we used to watch riots. And this is boring ass testimony. Yeah. People are vested in this. You go to NBC News, you go to all these other streamers that are streaming it. People are watching this. People are watching this case because it's not about a kid that decided to take up arms and defend his town. Well, yeah, it is. But everybody that's watching it, you're literally like, well, that could have been me. I've literally called for people to do that, to go. And I'm saying now, if your town is rioting, go out and stop it. That's my advice to you as just an American. That's your American duty. That's literally one of the privileges of being here in this country, or used to be, is that you could proudly defend your neighbor. You can't do that anymore, or at least that's what this case is about.
Do you think that this case has had an effect on other conservatives or patriots that want to go out and defend their neighborhood or defend their community? Did this instance and what happened to Kyle Rittenhouse and getting charged, do you think that dissuade maybe patriots from coming out?
Not yet. It depends on the verdict.
Not yet.
If Kyle is found innocent, when the protests do happen, you're going to have resistance. It's going to happen. And even if this trial didn't happen, but because, I firmly believe the protests are going to pick up right after Christmas anyway, because, well, it's an election year next year, it's midterms, and they got to do something. Look what happened in Virginia. So it's going to be just like in 2020 all over again. I firmly believe that in terms of the but it's weird. I think it's going to be a more universal bullshit about the mandates. We're already seeing that. You guys see the protests in Los Angeles today. You see the protests in New York. You see the protests all over the country now.
Massive.
Where it's more unified. But you're going to have, like, there was protests in Boston yesterday. You know what happened in Boston? Anti-vaccine protesters, or anti-mandate, because they're not anti-vax, they're anti-mandate protesters, were outside. Antifa showed up and they started fighting. In San Diego yesterday, or someplace in Southern California, you had a small group, I think it was outside of UCLA, small group of anti-force mandate protesters out there. Antifa shows up, sprays them and all that. That stuff will stop. You know why? Because people are going to see those people in black bloc coming. It would be like, I'll be honest, if I was standing outside and I saw 5 or 6 people dressed in black bloc carrying weapons, I'm going to beat the shit out of them. I'm going to throw the first punch. I don't care if I get arrested or get my ass kicked. I'm going to be the first one. They're going to be like, what are you doing up? Boom! And that's it. And because I already know what's going to happen. We've seen it time and time again. And we're going to get to
sprayed.
Yeah. It's a given. Right. So you just say, I want to at least impact one of them first. And people are going to start doing that. The benefit of the doubt is not going to be given much more. Look, they attacked people in Boston.
This right here.
I can't see that
headline.
Nah, it's small. What's it say?
Piedmont Park to host BLM 5K Atlanta Festival next weekend.
Well, there you go.
One thing we do know is BLM lost a lot of funding, right? People have stopped donating it. The local chapters didn't get the money they were supposed to get from all the national donations that were given to blacklivesmatter.org. Oh, wait, never mind. All that money went to Vote Blue. Oh, wait.
Act Blue,
they don't want to talk about that anymore. Act Blue, yeah. So now that they've got this Piedmont, now they're going to hold 5Ks. They're going to start holding benefit events, right, to raise money back for their chapters. Why do you think that is? Because they're going to hit the streets again. They need something to fund all of these big events. They need something to pay the people to come out and actually show up to this shit. So they got to raise more money. This is exactly what they're doing right now. You're dead on. By the first of the year, I think we see people out in the streets again, especially depending on how this trial rolls out. We could see a whole nother Atlanta protest again. You could see protests in St. Louis, in cities all around. They could pop up easily again.
Someone just commented on the
people are worn out right now. Their stress level is high. Their anxiety is high. They're on edge.
I don't think BLM is going to protest this verdict either. You're just going to have the opportunists that go out and do it, like Cortez Wright, because he doesn't care about black lives, because they'd be out protesting every time a black individual gets shot and killed by another one. They don't care. They only care about these certain ones that fit their thing, while he's wearing all sorts of gold jewelry and gold teeth and all that stuff. What's he doing for a living? Because last I heard, he didn't have a job.
Bro.
Let's give away a TV. Let's do it big right now. You ready?
Let's do a TV. 55er. Boom,
55. Look, I'm just going to do lots of it. Lots of confetti. There it is. Yeah, because this is a big one. All right.
Yeah.
Let me...
Let's see who the lucky individual is.
Refresh this list, because we have had some signups during this. Let me get this ready.
Today, you'll be eligible.
Yeah, if you signed up during this show, you're still going to be eligible. All right, randomize. Janine. Founding member, too. Janine. Nice, Janine.
Oh, nice.
It's not Jolene, it's Janine. Janine. You want TV. Not going to forget that one.
Nice.
It's TV. It's the most expensive gift.
That's a good one.
Janine. Is Janine in the chat on Citizen Stringer? I want to hear that. Janine, Janenefm. That is you.
Let's see. The chat's going so fast.
I know, it's hard to see. I don't know. There's too many damn people. She won the TV.
There's so many people.
I can't even follow the damn chat. There's so many people.
It's so fast. We don't have a way to do slow mode on our own chat.
No, we can't. They're working on it, but congratulations, Janine. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, Janine. Congratulations, you've won. You've won the TV. God, there's so many people in there. I don't know if I've ever seen that many people in there.
It's hard to... I definitely haven't.
Someone said they checked the list. She's not in there. And that's the beauty about it. You don't need to You don't need to watch. I have
Everyone
3.
was eligible. You didn't.
Yeah, everyone. Every member. You don't have to be in the show to watch it. Anyone who does it. I'm gonna do a couple more right now.
T-shirt. Let's give away. Yeah,
no, because I've got 3 F Joe Biden T-shirts or sweatshirts, hoodies.
Oh, okay, cool.
That they're already printed.
Hoodies.
So I could just
that's
ship
even better. Give away the hoodies.
Yeah, with the red ink. I've got 3 of them ready.
That's even better.
I don't know the sizes though, so but I have extra sweatshirts and all that, so I'll let you know. First one,
you're an XXL. You might get a small.
Mary M.
Yes, congratulations,
Mary Mick something
you
is your last
won
name.
A hoodie. Let's go, Brandon hoodie.
No, F Joe Biden.
F Joe Biden. I'm sorry, F Joe Biden. Same thing.
No, because this is Let's Go Brandon. Different design. I don't have any more of these designs here. So they are available online. You'll see if you go to Pure Truth Clothing, you'll see a new hoodie with a new Let's Go Brandon design and an arm sleeve print. I believe it's on there. It should be on there. If it's not, it will be tomorrow. Just in case you didn't know, we've got all sorts of new shit. We're gonna have new hats over the course of the week. That store is gonna completely change. You guys are gonna love it. FJOB sweatshirt. Hold on, I gotta keep this all in order so I remember how to do it. Let's do another one. Well, let's do a FJB sweatshirt to a founding member. All right, ready?
Oh, nice.
To a founding member.
Susie said, "Do not pick her."
Mike from Indy. Mike from Indy.
Is that Big Mikey J?
I don't think so. I think his name is Big Mike.
Is that a different one? Okay.
This is Mike from
Indy. Okay, sorry.
Mike from Indy. He's trying to confuse me here. Mike from Indy, FJB sweatshirt.
I'm looking at the chat, guys. I'm trying to look at my phone. Congratulations, FM Mike from Indy.
And what else? How about a Wake Up America sweatshirt? Let's just keep giving away shit. Wake Up America sweatshirt with a new line. Good. So it says Wake Up America, and then it's got podcast on this side.
This time pick Susie. She said.
This is for a founding member as well. Actually, we'll do this for everybody. Randomize. No mask, no Rona. No mask, no Rona.
No mask,
nice name.
no Rona. That's a good name. I like that.
That is a good name. Founding member too. That is a Wake Up America hoodie. I just wrote hottie. HODDIE.
We'll get them a hottie. A hottie.
And what I think I'm going to do is every Friday we'll do some giveaways. Not this big, obviously. This is our anniversary, but Friday just for the Citizen Stringer. I think what I'll do on Fridays is I'll do a show because the way it's going to work, because I'm going to start doing another show called Capacity Today, which is going to air in the morning sometime. It likely will never be live. It'll just be recorded. But that's just going to be about trucking and logistics and supply chain for a new venture that we're starting called Capacity Today. We'll announce that later in the week. But yeah, we have some great partners already. That's going to be huge. And then who's calling me? Don't call me during the show, please. That's really rude. Do
you have is that reindeer bells? Is that reindeer bells?
No,
is there
I'm also playing with screws. I do. They're on my desk. So I literally just keep doing
what is that reindeer bell sound?
No, it's because I fidget. Did anyone not notice that? Like when I move, when I talk, I move my hands around and do
You're like
weird faces. So I play with
these two little things I've been sitting with right here.
Yeah. Yeah, so what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, so what I'm probably going to do, the Wake Up America show is going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, tentatively, at least next week while I get everything all situated. Actually, who the fuck am I kidding? I'm probably going to go live every day. But the Capacity Today show is not going to be live. Very rarely will it be live. It'll be recorded. It'll be about supply chain and logistics, but it's going to be from like an entry-level perspective because that's the thing. Joe Biden yesterday, was it yesterday or Saturday, said, the basic person doesn't understand supply chain. They can't. They're not smart enough to understand it. Whatever the hell he said. Well, guess what? We're going to make it so we can understand. I heard that, and I'm like, okay, for any single person that doesn't understand, here's what you have to understand. Everything in your house touched a truck. It was involved in the supply chain. That's how important it is, and they're trying to ruin it. I'm giving another, whoops, back. Oh, never mind. We've used our quota of random bits for today. I can't even do any more giveaways.
No.
We gave away too much giveaways. We can't even do any more. Let me see if it'll let me do this page. That's fucking crazy. Nope. It won't let me do it. Wow. That's crazy.
You hit the limit.
Yeah.
Wow, we hit our limit on the giveaway. They won't even let us give away.
Why? Maybe because of bandwidth, so they limit the amount of times you could do it. Or people said,
probably
"Oh, he's
request,
using random org. Let's tell them to shut him off so you can't do it anymore."
Right, exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't.
305.
We have some serious trolls.
Yeah, and I'm sure we had a couple sign up. Yeah, we'll do these more. But yeah, the capacity today is going to be different because it's going to be all about supply chain, logistics, trucking, and introducing people to the industry and the news that's related to that industry, the headlines and all that. It's actually, we'll bring the big like national stories over to Citizen Stringer, but the capacity website is actually going to operate as its own entity here, which is going to be pretty good because that's it. What is this?
That'll be a great show. Then also this week, we got some pretty sweet stuff coming up too. Just to remind everybody, we're going to be doing an exclusive interview with the family of Stuart Scheller, Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, we all know of right now. So we'll be sitting down with them this week, and we'll be releasing that interview to Citizen Stringer members on Friday night. So if you guys are a member there, you'll have access to that exclusive footage. We also have something a little bit secret that we got in the works. We'll probably give you guys a sneak peek at that later this week on an episode of Wake Up America. We'll probably do that Thursday night, right? Thursday night. We'll give you guys just a little bit of a taste of what we're working on, what we're cooking up over the next couple weeks. So make sure you tune in this week to Wake Up America. It's going to be incredibly awesome. We've got a lot of special treats for you guys on this year anniversary week of ours. Celebrating our year anniversary of having our own platform, ptnn.tv or citizenstringer.tv. And we just really appreciate every single one of you that's joined and made this possible and supported us over the last 12 months in this journey. It just, I mean, we were talking about it earlier today. It's just flattening and humbling when you think about all the support that we've had from all of our viewers. Really is.
It's been quite the venture. It's been, it's been crazy. I mean, to do it all and to keep doing it, and we're gonna keep doing, and we're just gonna keep growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. We will be live again tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Well, actually, Pete Santilli will be live at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're staying live. Adam, how long is it going to take you to preload, or did you already do it? Today's trial.
I didn't do it. It's gonna take like 15 minutes.
All right, so we'll throw up something on the playlist, and then in like 15 minutes, Adam will restart today's whole
catch the back
hearing.
Half of We'll catch the back
Pete
half
Santilli.
of Pete Santilli.
Yeah, he's still
live.
Gonna
be live until 9
he's
p.m.
live until 9.
Yeah.
So we'll have him on from now until 9, and then Adam will start today's hearing over, and then we'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for day 7. Day 7 of this wonderful trial. But thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Adam, for being here, man. We'll see you soon.
Thank you guys. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.
You've been listening to Wake Up America with Stephen Oatley. Unapologetically American and unapologetically honest. Join us each night at 8 p.m. for more daily headlines, politics, and social issues, covering the headlines that mainstream media ignores. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review the show. See more on the website at citizenstringer.com. And we'll see you tomorrow on Wake Up America.